Hi, this is Cindy. Two classic Sears Roebuck stories today. Stay tuned. The first Sears Roebuck story I'm going to tell you about today was when I was about maybe 9 years old, maximum 9 or 10. Every year my mother used to take us to Sears before school started, and she would get me their special dresses, 5 for $10. So for $2 a piece, she dressed me for school, and we wore dresses, no pants allowed. So this occurred on one of those occasions when she had me, my brother that was just 13 months older than me, and my brother that's 5 years younger than me, all together at Sears Roebuck to buy school clothes. And mind you, we had a very sparse budget. Typically, my brothers and I would hang around in either the toy department or where the candy was. You know, they had a candy counter where you could buy candy by the pound. This time, this story takes place in the shoe department. My mother is shopping somewhere else, in the store, either across an aisle or wherever. But my brothers and I were in the shoe department. Now, they had a buffer type little square or rectangular box type thing that sat on the floor, and it had a spinning buffer that you could just slide your shoe under, and it would buff, I guess, for men or women, patent leather shoes or, what leather shoes, whatever. Okay, so my brothers had taken turns, pushing the button and having it spin, but it was sitting down on the floor. So I leaned my head down and got way down close to it and pushed the button, and it caught some of my hair and twirled that lump of hair around that buffer. Spun it just tight, and my head was held down to the buffer. Now I'm down on my knees at this point with my head attached to the buffer by my hair. The only way I kept saying to my brothers, go get mom, and neither one of them did. Maybe they didn't know where she was. And the only way I could get my hair loose, as God is my almighty witness, was to just pull until I pulled that hair out of my head. You guys, it's a wonder I didn't bleed. I don't know, maybe I did. And I don't know how big around the hair bunch was. Probably at least as big around as a pencil or a pen, or maybe even bigger. I will never forget that if I live to be a million. It was painful for quite some time. That's my first Sears Roebuck story. My second one occurred when I was an adult, and I was at home cleaning or reading or studying or something, and all of a sudden I had this intense knowing that I needed to go to Sears Roebuck surplus store in Tulsa, which was near 51st Street somewhere, and buy my son, who was in elementary school, a pair of jeans. Now, he wore, at that age, he was probably maybe 8, maybe 9, 10, somewhere around there. Maybe about the same age I was when I got my head stuck to the buffer. He wore husky jeans, and I had to buy them. They weren't available everywhere, but Sears did have them. So I just had this real knowing I'm supposed to go to Sears and buy him a pair of jeans. Well, we didn't have much money, ever. And so that was quite an undertaking in itself, but I knew I was supposed to go. I felt a leading to go. It was more than just going to buy jeans. I knew that. I got in the car, drove to Sears, and went to the jeans department, and they were hanging on a round rack by hangers. And as I'm there looking through the jeans, sliding them over to find his size, I looked down to my right, and there was suddenly, out of nowhere, with no sound made, there was a little boy in a wheelchair right beside me, like he came out of nowhere silently. He was probably my son's age, maybe a little younger. And I looked down at him, and something on the inside of me knew suddenly, this is why I'm here. I think I'm supposed to pray for this little boy. But I was so nervous, and it was such a different experience than I had had, that I was nervous, I was scared, I was unsure of exactly what to do. But something in me knew I'm supposed to pray for this little boy. But I just stood there frozen, looking at him, and he's down below me to the right because he's in a little wheelchair for children. And all of a sudden, as I'm standing there just frozen, I heard a voice from a little further away in the store, a woman calling out, "Rocky, Rocky, where are you? Rocky." And I just kept looking at him, and he kept looking at me. Straight in the eyes, he kept looking at me. It was almost like a begging of sorts. I think he knew I was supposed to pray for him. And within moments, the woman who was calling him was standing right there on the other side of him. And she said, "There you are, Rocky. Come on, honey, we need to go." And she turned to leave, and he turned and followed her in his wheelchair. And I lost that opportunity. It was gone, forever gone. And I hadn't obeyed the leading that I had had. And I was heartbroken. And I was so sad. And I bought the jeans, and I went out to the car, and I sat there and cried. I failed that little boy, and I asked God for forgiveness, and I asked him to please, whatever he would have done for Rocky, had I laid hands on him and prayed for him in the store, I asked God to please minister that to him and not hold my failure against the little boy and not grant what his desire was in being there. I will tell you, I have tried my best since then to never let those kind of opportunities slip through my fingers again. Now I want to encourage you, what you're led to do on the inside, and knowing in your spirit that there's something you need to do, please do it. Don't have regrets like I did of failing because of fear or the unknown or not quite knowing exactly how to do it. Do it afraid. Just begin and let God lead you in how to do it. I pray this brings help to you, brings light to you, and brings encouragement to you. God bless you.